so I didn't have much money really to spend on decoration, and I'd just moved. This was my first property, so I needed to buy furniture, and the only things I ever had were like things from my bedroom in my family home. So yeah, the last thing on my to-do list was to fully change my kitchen at the time. Fast forward, I think like 8 months ish, my girlfriend moved in, and she is far more confident with DIY and stuff like that, so I'm happy to give things a go, but it comes to her a little bit more naturally. I think she just knows the tools, and yeah, just kind of will go, oh well, we'll give it a try, which I love, because then it makes me more proactive with doing things like that, because I know that I am with somebody who wants to do it as well. So we set about doing that, and the things that were green or like not to our taste were the worktops. They were the green, the walls were kind of like a magnolia, and the floor was a very thin lino type thing that had green in it and was quite a retro pattern. So those things changed. My girlfriend laid new flooring, my brother helped with replacing the worktops, and I did the painting, and it looked lovely and fresh. So that was a good while ago. I'd say maybe 2 years ago we ended up doing that. So that was fine, but obviously we didn't replace any of the cabinetry, and that slowly started to deteriorate in terms of its quality. So one day I was getting into the bath, and I just said to my partner, like, would you mind tightening some of the hinges on the doors, because they're slightly dropping and the doors weren't aligned to close properly. So she said, absolutely no problem, you get in the bath, I'll deal with it. And I can hear some like clattering and things sort of making a lot of noise, and I was like, oh, she's just getting her tools out, it's fine. I come out and there are no kitchen tools left, so I was like, that escalated quickly. But she said that there'd essentially be no point, and then one of the drawers had fallen out. I think it was that same day, and then another drawer fell out, and we were like, okay, this is ridiculous. We're not gonna have a kitchen left by the time all the doors and drawers have fallen out. And I love to cook, so it was becoming a space that was not as fun to be in, because I couldn't get into drawers, or things were just all over the place. So we decided to redo the kitchen properly, everything coming out, all new stuff going in. Obviously like a relatively disruptive and expensive project, but luckily our kitchen is tiny. A lot of you have commented that you would like to see the kitchen when it's done, so that video will come. I don't know when. I'm hoping within the next couple of weeks. It might be within the next month, so just keep an eye out for that. So yeah, made that decision. We ripped the kitchen out at the end of February, and by that stage we had ordered a kitchen with the kitchen designer that my parents were using to renovate my family home, and theirs looks absolutely stunning. So when I saw the quality of theirs, I was like, that looks amazing. Cost wise, the quote came through around more expensive than some of the other retailers, but when we compared quality to cost, it seemed worth it to us and was still within our budget, so that's what we went with anyway. So yes, we ripped the kitchen out. We knew it would be another couple of months when you start tearing things apart that you start to go, okay, that wasn't done the best. For example, our hot water boiler was positioned behind a wall that you could not access. So obviously if that was to leak or anything go wrong with it, we would have an entire wall to break down, on top of all the kitchen cabinets to be moved out of the way to be able to get to it. So once we stripped everything out, our plumber advised that we take down the wall, which we did, and then we had a new boiler put in and all that kind of stuff. So that was kind of like the practical elements of it, but that was an unforeseen expense. But also we were glad that we'd taken the kitchen out in enough time to have all of that done, so that was great. We had not decided on flooring for quite some time, and then we'd originally said that we might do hardwood floors, but we'd been told by a few people that that would be maybe a mistake in a kitchen just because of the amount of potential for water leakage and the wood swelling and causing problems. And I was like, okay, yeah, I don't want to have to replace something just because I drop a pan of water or something. So then I'd mentioned it to my dad, and we'd spoken about alternatives, and he said, well, actually they were getting tiles put in. Sorry about the road noise. They were getting tiles put in on their flooring, and the tiles were really similar to the colour of floor that we'd already been looking at. And he said, you know, if there's leftovers, you're welcome to just have it. So that was amazing, because that is exactly what we did. we took the flooring that was spare, and we are very grateful because they gave it to us for free. So that was amazing and very generous of them. So that has kind of been the process. Obviously, like a major aspect of our build has been the space, because the kitchen is so small. Like, I think people think that you're exaggerating when you tell them that you have a small space, but I don't know how to. I think it's about 2 meters long by 2 meters wide. Like, it's relatively square. So not big at all. There's a nice big window in there, sash window. I mean, you'll see when I do the reveal video. But the space and the need for storage is obviously like a massive priority. So when we were speaking with the kitchen designer, you know, I said I want to use as much space as possible. You know, any little hidden nooks and crannies, I need to be able to, you know, store tins or tea towels or anything. So yeah, that was good. So we managed to kind of discuss things like that with him. I'm trying to think what the next stage was. The plumber came in. He is a friend of my dad's, and he did the boiler, and we had a weird pipe that was hanging out the wall that was like part of the waste from the sink. So he put that inside the wall instead of it being hanging out, which was obviously visually a lot nicer. Then we had to redo all of the plasterboarding, which he put the boards up, but then he hadn't. So for anybody who doesn't know, the walls are, at least in the UK, on the builds that I've seen anyway, I don't want to make any like sweeping statements, but you have the struts that make the structure of the building. Then you have, as in the internal structure, then you have plasterboard, which are just big sheets of thick board, thick or thin. They get pinned to the struts, and then obviously if you have two boards plaster throughout the entire building, so the walls are not they're sturdy, but you know, with plaster they're just extra reinforced, and we don't have that, so you have to be careful where you hang things up. So anyway, he didn't do that part, so my partner then took to doing that, and she did an amazing job. So good. I could tell that she was a bit worried about messing it up. Sorry, there was just a bit of road noise going on. I think it's at the time when all the officers are leaving. All the people in offices. So yeah, she did an amazing job. I could tell she was worried, but I had full faith. She's very good, and she doesn't know how good she is. So yeah, very grateful that she persevered with that, and then she did all the painting. She was just on a one-woman mission to get this kitchen as ready as it could be for the fitter. So fast forward that, the fitter then comes and he starts going for it. He was very happy because the kitchen came pre-built. It was not a flat pack kitchen, so obviously that saved him time. He then discovered that our worktop had been accidentally dropped, or had something heavy popped on it in transport, which meant it had completely split down the middle, which was just the best news. One half of it, so our kitchen is a galley kitchen, so there's part of it on that side, part of it on that side. The side with the cooker, that worktop was fine, no problem, so that's all, that side is essentially finished. Then on the other side where the sink is, that's the side where the worktop was just completely split. So he has put it on, but has not put the sink in yet, because there would be no point, he's going to have to do it again, so the company will just replace the broken worktop, and then when that has arrived, which is hopefully this week, the sink can then be put in, hooked up. We have a dishwasher now, I'm so excited. That will then be plumbed in as well, and then there's also I can never remember what it's called, it's either the splashback or the backsplash. I don't think it makes that much of a difference, but anyway, that needs to be fitted, and I think that's it. But we did decide in the end to put another unit on top of the worktop. Now this will make sense when you see it, so I will try my best to explain, but we have the two worktops running like that, the walkways in the middle, and on the side with the window there's a stretch of worktop without anything on top of it, which is great for prep space for when I'm cooking. But we lost one of our cabinets when we had to put a new boiler in, so it wasn't by the wall anymore, but it had to go inside one of the cabinets. So we lost that space, which meant our beloved tea and coffees and mugs, the most important things in there, didn't have a home anymore. So because of that, we are now being quoted for an extra cupboard space for that. So all in all, you don't want to invade someone's space. I'm trying to cook things that are quick, which often means not using homemade sauces because obviously that takes time. So yeah, it's been a process. But I think that, and then for my partner, she likes things to be in order. I think she has a touch of OCD, but she just likes things tidy. I mean, I do, but I think I could see the end. I could see the end. There was a light at the end of the tunnel. I knew that there was a deadline, and I thought, I'm just gonna suck it up, and it will just have to be fine because it is what it is. But I think towards the end she was really struggling. I mean, we had, tins of tomatoes and peas on the living room floor. So because this is a one-bedroom apartment, there's no like extra space to just store things. In the meantime, we have the bathroom, kitchen, living room, bedroom, hall, and that's it. So when things are out of place, it's very obvious. The apartment's beautiful. I love it. We love our home space, but yeah, when things are not quite as they should be, you do see it. So I think that's been the hardest part. But I would say we are now 90% there, and I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. I can cook now. I can't wash dishes. I've been washing them in the bath, which is, lovely. So yeah, I mean, you make do. It's first world problems for sure. Just grateful that we obviously have the means to make our home the space that we want it to be. A few years ago we did look at moving and buying somewhere slightly bigger, but I think it's much like everywhere at the moment, the housing prices are outrageous. Where I live, it is notoriously expensive to live anyway. If you want to buy somewhere here, it's no small thing. It's a real achievement. So sorry about that. My girlfriend was getting out the bathroom and had a YouTube video playing nice and loud for me. But yeah, where was I? Yeah, it's very expensive to buy here. So that just became kind of too expensive for what we would be able to afford to buy when we do have a lovely place to live already. So part of the conversation with changing things here was just, rather than moving, it was just we decided to just make this a place that we really loved to be, and really put our own stamp on it. We hadn't done that in case we ever decided to rent the apartment out, but that we don't think will happen for a few years yet. So in that case, it made sense to personalise it a little bit more and put our own little spin on things decor-wise. So I don't think I have much more to update you on in terms of this project. Like I say, I will be putting up a video of the finished result. I love it already. I think it looks just very crisp and clean, and yeah, I mean, it's to our taste, so obviously everybody differs, but yeah, all will be revealed soon. Apologies again for any delay in uploading. I am back on it now. I will be filming back like normal, so you'll be seeing more of my face. So if you've enjoyed this video, please throw a like, comment, even better, subscribe. That would be amazing. But yes, thank you so much, and I hope you have a great rest of your day or evening.